the things we have to fit into what you think and think about what it says and
And we're live.
construct your mythology. Whereas on the Book of Jubilees, I don't see a reason to reject the book the way you seem to be doing to me. Okay.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I don't see a qualitative difference between the Book of Genesis or the Book of Jubilees or the Book of Enoch or Revelation, which I consider to be a shroom-inspired apocalypse. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay.
Um, and that makes it bumpy because you to argue about, I mean, the two firmaments thing. I don't know how you got there. So was that your question, Robbie?
My question just before now, I unmuted us and we went live and stuff, and pretty much my question is no good for you because of the reasons that you just gave. But what I'm asking is, I mentioned earlier why I'm really not good at trying to get my words out, and I'm trying to do better. The reason I picked the Book of Jubilees was to be an asshole. All right, as I explained earlier, I wanted to find something that was around the same period and time period as Christianity. I wanted to find something non-canonical, as you've seen before. I've read Enoch and stuff like this, but Enoch sort of. I don't want to say that Enoch is. No, fuck it. I will. This is the best way. Enoch is non-canonical, but Enoch is non-canonical enough to be popular in mainstream right now. Hell, everybody here on the channel knows about fucking Enoch, but
It's
nobody
supplemental
knows.
material. Yes,
Pardon?
it's supplemental material.
Right. People don't know about the Book of Jubilees. Right? It's out there. People study it. It's not very mainstream. You know, I could shout out even the Gospel of Thomas. People here probably on this panel, other than me, have read the Gospel of Thomas. Like it's these outliers. So I tried my best to find something that was, as Richard puts it, an original story that tells the truth of what happened on another planet and what will happen now. They're all retellings of the same story. I do believe that's a direct quote from Richard.
Close enough.
Right? And I wanted to find something that aligned with the requirements to fit Richard's belief, but disagreed with Richard's belief. More so to the point than we've fought over Revelations, and I've now got Demolished Doctrine, a secondary version of Richard's religion. You know, it's not a volcano, it's a meteorite. That's a disagreement, but still a religion. This one particularly goes against a lot of things. And this is why I wanted to find this one. I wanted to find one that was like, you're a plonker, Richard. Can't fucking fit this in. No way. Like, we tried Gilgamesh. We got 7 Jesuses. And you still tried to fit it into your story. There was 7 Jesuses at one point. So we didn't fucking stream for like 5 months because I was so annoyed at how.
Yeah, I'm a bit puzzled by that, by Richard's apparent need to want to fit everything into it instead of accepting that different people wrote at different times the way they saw things. And even if they were talking about the same thing, they could have had radically different interpretations because none of them knew what a spaceship was.
4 squares. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4. And 3 was crazy. That was my point. Yep.
I did not understand that point, but you did do a nice little dance there. I think it's from TikTok.
That was lovely.
You told me to stop my dance earlier.
There you
Okay,
go.
so I'd like to answer to Dargendorp's challenge.
Thanks. I didn't challenge you.
What's that?
I did not challenge you. I said I'm puzzled.
It is.
He gets to pick the language.
Okay, I'm using the words the way that I use them, and you'll glean context over time.
Let's try that.
I love a good argument. It doesn't mean I think somebody's combative. Not at all. Okay, so you asked me why justify it to the Bible. I'm not. But I do mostly speak to, because where I am and the audience that I have, people who know the Bible. That's most of my audience. So I can do the same thing and say, okay, um, in Hinduism, this story is told in this way to those people. And I'm just perfectly comfortable talking about Hinduism the same way I'm talking about the Bible.
Hit the wrong button. I
And then
hit the wrong.
probably
Give me a.
okay.
I've ruined the whole thing. I hit the wrong button. I've lost the
Let's just
stream.
keep going. It doesn't matter.
Just
Just
keep
keep
going.
Actually, then I was unaware of that.
Or some Native American cultures that I'm aware of, Aboriginal Australian, some of those stories, Greek religion. It's all fine for me. But mostly I'm talking to people who know the Bible. So I'm referring to the Bible.
Okay.
But my baseline, which MathPig tried to say, he said fairly well, is I believe these stories are so universal that there's only actually about 20 stories. And they're told from different points of view, like looking at it through a ray and looking at a sphere, and you look at it from this direction, you look at it from this direction, and those are all different directions, but the sphere is always the same. So, if that
Okay.
answers to you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just visualizing your picture, and yeah, I think I get it, sort of.
Okay. I'll give you a direct, for instance. The story of Hercules loosing, I'm horrible with these names. Apollo? Is that the right association? From the chains of Zeus. And he runs out
No.
and he kills the Cyclops, right? Whose name is Angus, which the word means brightness or light. And when he kills the Cyclops becomes the brightness of Zeus's lightning bolts. Sorry, I'm foggy on one name. But that's precisely the same as David and Goliath in 1 Samuel 17. That David runs out to the giant and puts a stone in his forehead, i.e., he's a Cyclops now.
Oh, David and Goliath. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what did you say was the name of the Cyclops?
Angus.
I'm gonna have to go to Wikipedia. I'm gonna have to look that up.
It means brightness, whereas
Yeah.
angel means a being of brightness.
Yeah, I'm just bothered right now because I have another name sort of floating in the back of my head. So
For the Cyclops, are you?
Yeah.
Maybe you're thinking of a different Cyclops. I'm talking about the blacksmith.
That's
Cyclops.
Hephaestus. That's Hephaistos. Hephaestus. That's not a Cyclops.
Hephaestus.
Yeah, Hephaestus.
Hephaestus.
He
Yeah,
was,
Maybe
he
I'm-
was the smith of the Greek.
He was the
gods.
smith.
was
He had
the,
a
the equivalent
have
to the
to-
Roman god Vulcan.
yeah. He had bad legs or something like that because he was tossed off the mountain or something as a baby. And
He
Wikipedia
was-
just timed out. I am now officially stupid.
If you know, like the story of Aphrodite and Zeus and how she like sprang from his head, Hephaestus was like
No, that's
Hera's
that's,
version of that.
That's Athena. Athena sprang.
Oh
from
yeah,
Zeus's head.
Athena. Sorry, I got it backwards. But yeah,
Okay,
it was-
everyone but Stephanie
Venus-
sucks at
Venus-
Greek mythology.
Venus either came up on sea foam on a shell, girl on the half shell, or some other thing. I forget the other Venus thing.
oh, but Hephaestus was Hera's like son by only her, right? In the same way that Athena was Zeus's daughter by only him. So it was like weird. And then he got thrown off the side of the mountain, which is why his legs are all effed up. And then he became a blacksmith of the gods after making a bunch of pretty stuff for Hera.
Oh, but
And
Cloud just
Ale
killed the
was one of
crack.
the
Well done,
Ainur
Cloud.
who was the smith of the gods who made the dwarfs, and got in trouble with Eru Iluvatar because Eru was the one, and Eru got a little bit angry and told Ale to kill kill his creation, and Aule raised his hammer to kill the first dwarf, and Eru Iluvatar saw the terror in the dwarf's face and decided, hey, maybe I'll let these guys be my adopted children. It's another story, but it was just a story.
Okay,
Yeah,
the Cyclops' name was Polypheme. Yeah?
I don't know that word.
The Cyclops, and that was not with Hercules. That was okay. I'm thinking of Ulysses or Odysseus. And the Cyclops there was called. I'm writing in the side chat. Poly. That's probably German, but maybe he's
I
gotten.
think we're just talking about two different stories.
I think it's
Yeah.
Polyphemus.
Or we're mixing them all up.
I think it was Polyphemus was Odysseus's
Yeah.
Cyclops.
I'd look it up if my internet was limping. I'm gonna have
Still
to
just
open a window
another
here.
story.
Just
Is my
another
camera
story.
or mic working? It is, yeah.
Am I
Yeah,
supposed to
I
look
can
at
see
you?
you've got your hand raised. It's your channel, MathPig. Just jump right in, for fuck's sake.
Are you having a cramp or something? The way you're.
I was
waving
having
your
a
hand,
cramp
or-
because I held
Yeah,
my
you're
fucking
trying to-
hand up for so goddamn long. I had to hold my hand up.
Alrighty.
As we started the stream, I asked a question to Dargendorp, and we came on. We went live. Dargendorp was giving the explanation of it, and I started to rephrase how thank you, and then how his answer explained how he couldn't answer the question that I give. The question that I did give was I want to get other people's opinions on how this is going relative to that. I got Dargendorp's, I got Andy, or not Richards. Clout has been a follower for a while. Stephanie, me and you have been interacting quite good. I would consider us colleagues, friends, or whatever. But whatever. I don't mean to be dismissive. Clout, I know, has been following us for a while. Clout even had a job in the last series to remind us at the start of every stream what verse and chapter we were on, So I would like to get an opinion on Clout as a person who has been watching for a while. How do you see the progression and the differences in the story and Richard's interpretation? Are you seeing Richard be more consistent, or are you seeing Richard fight for his consistency, so to speak?
And his right to party.
Yeah, good question. I guess I feel like I see Richard thinking a lot more before launching into explanations as time has gone on. I don't know if I want to say he's being more careful or he's just taking a little bit more time. And it's the kind of challenging and I don't know, it's the back and forth that always kind of keeps me entertained. You guys have a really excellent kind of back and forth, and
for 40 minutes tonight before we read a fucking verse. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, the tangents can go in fun directions, but even among that, the kind of questioning and repositioning and kind of maneuvering around each other as you find that position and find the best way to communicate it. I think it's really interesting. I always find it pretty interesting. You guys seem to do a good job. So I'm kind of always curious how it is going to progress, how this conversation is going to give you guys lessons on how the next conversation goes. And, Richard's got a very unique view. So that in and of itself is pretty interesting, but the conversation is really fun, I think.
Okay, on the giant Cyclops, I misremembered a third of a letter. It's not A-N-G-S, it's A-R-G-S. A-R-G-E-S. It's Argus, not Angus.
Okay. We can bring this back.
Thank you,
What?
Clout. Yeah.
Okay.
Richard didn't listen
All
to a
the-
goddamn thing you were saying because he was looking
looks
up
like all the
something on
rest
the
of it was
internet,
right.
but I was
Yeah,
listening.
I was working on. No, I heard him, and I even said thank you. That was very forgiving of you and nice. I
Yeah,
even
you were
said that.
active listening. We know.
I was I was
Okay,
passively listening.
right. Gonna do a precursor before I bring them in. Okay, Wesley, don't prophesize. Please include in the conversation. I know that you have been watching for a while of me and Richard, so I'm going to ask you when you come in the same question, and I would appreciate you answering it first. If you don't and ignore me and prophesize, I will.
If I don't follow your ultimatum. Okay.
Uh,
What's your ultimatum?
Check out the description, man. It literally says, I am God here. You will figure that out when I tell you. All right?
Okay. Okay.
I built this place. The question, thank you for coming on and joining as well, Wesley. The question I'm asking two people, Dargendorp, then Clout, and I was going to ask Stephanie, and if you're willing to wait, I'd like to ask Stephanie that, and then yourself,
Sure.
was how have you seen Richard's progression in his understanding and his defense of his religion through the different readings that we've done? I know that you only come in at Revelations, and we're only 3 episodes into Jubilees, so you may not have seen it. So I don't know if that applies to you as it didn't to Dargendorp. So think about your answer, and I'm going to listen to Stephanie's answer. So thank you, Wesley. Stephanie, all that bollocks to you.
I haven't listened to all of the Jubilees. I caught most of the whole Revelation stuff, and I think it's interesting. I'll echo what Dargendorp said. It's what interests me is the attribution to biblical, or in the case of Jubilees, semi-biblical, almost biblical, but not quite biblical texts as being ultimately significant towards a description of ultimate realities. And I think that's interesting. I think what I find common in the stories that people tell each other and people have written down, that people, we are storytellers. We make up stories. We make up all kinds of stories. And we make up stories primarily about things that concern us and things that we really don't know much about. Like, why are we here? What is the meaning of life? Why do we die? Why, there are all of these questions. And some of those questions we just can't answer, really. I mean, you can glibly say we die because if we didn't die, then life would be impossible. I mean, that might be a conclusion to it. And we make up stories about eternal beings that are immortal. We make up all sorts of stories. That's like, the elves in Tolkien's thing. They're immortals. There are all sorts of immortals all through this stuff.
I
But
just spent the weekend watching all of the Lord of the Rings extended version, like 4 hours and 28 minutes long for one. Like, Stu was not happy. It ended. He screamed at me, "That's fucking too goddamn long." Yeah, 4.5 hours. They're big ass.
There you go.
Stool is wrong.
They're pretty good moves. They don't really follow the book all that well. But after all, and Tolkien was a Catholic. You can see an awful lot of Catholic theology. But anyway, they're stories, and I don't dismiss people attributing a deeper meaning to them. And I draw meaning from the Bible. I've read it quite a bit. I'm a preacher's kid after all. And was raised on them, but they don't seem to be. I mean, I can read other stories and derive great meaning from them as well. They touch me in that place, right? In that spot.
You're making it worse.
In my existence, they touch a place within my existence in the physical world of wonder, right? And I think that wonder is definitely a part of being a human and alive, and that's what I think these things are. To be honest, I don't think that they have much meaning beyond that. But that's just me. That's where I land in this whole thing. And
Thank you.
and to use them as as to use them as cat o' nine tails, to whip people into shape and to view things in a certain way, and to coerce people into supporting supporting acts that in their essence are detrimental to people living good lives. That bothers me a great deal.
Thank you.
Yeah, as soon as
I don't know if that even touched on the question.
Oh, no. I understand. No, I understand your answer. You know, Clouch was very good from his point of view because he's seen, you know, a few. Dargendorp was explaining it as well. No, Stephanie, I appreciate. It's a question that I don't want to say you're unable to answer, but it's like, what do you think of our last 4 series? I've only watched one. You're unable to answer, you know, because you haven't seen it. You can't be held responsible for what you don't know for not knowing it. As I said to Richard earlier, you know, if you don't know it, you don't know. You can't be held responsible for it. Wesley, hopefully you've thought about the question, seeing us progress through Revelations into this. I know you've been watching a wee bit because you've been about. And if in lacking something similar to an answer like Stephanie and Dargendorp gave, would be fantastic.
Could I hear the question one more time, please?
Me and Richard have been doing this for nearly 5 years now. I think April will be 5 years. Me and Richard have known each other, somewhere in around that. And we've been doing this sort of idea with scripture for quite a while. Whenever we started, I'm going to give you context, and big long question. Whenever we started, I obviously didn't know Richard's beliefs, and over the years, I've got a better understanding of it. With my better understanding, I can ask him more annoying questions. And Richard then has to come to the point where it's trying to justify more. Like, the more information Richard gives me about his beliefs, the more I can question him on his beliefs. And as the series have progressed, hey Logan Fisher, do I know Logan Fisher? The name's ringing a bell, although I don't think you're here that often. Logan, thank you very much for coming. Richard's beliefs, the more you get to know about Richard's beliefs, the more questions you ask. And you know, the more you delve deeper. And I personally feel, over specifically the last 3 series, starting, including the one we're doing now, the story of Gilgamesh, then Revelations, and here, I feel that Richard has been, to take it to an extreme, put in a corner. I know enough about Richard now to create a question where he's in a logical dilemma, a consistency dilemma. You know, fuck off, alright? I know enough about Richard to ask him an annoying question. Will you agree on that? There you go, right? And that's where I'm at now. And I feel that Richard, as Cloud put it, has to think more, has to be more specific in his words. He can't broad brush it with a statement, so to speak, because he knows that I'll pick out. So with that context, the question is, what do you feel about Richard's progression in his justification for his beliefs as the series has went along?
Well, my answer is that I believe that all of you are written in Scripture in what Jesus calls a similitude. You are plucked. So
this is
your
prophesizing.
questions
You went straight to, my opinion, sorry if I can get a vote from the panel, but you went straight to prophesizing. You went, thanks for the question, but I believe.
Well, the depth of the square pit is unknown in the vision that Jesus gave to you. Jesus gave me to open or shut it. So a couple of days ago, I opened it again, and you're having that.
Thanks for your opinion about what you're doing,
kindness.
Wesley, please, on topic.
Because I said so. You're going to lose everything you own, which you use to not tell the vision.
I'm sorry,
That's
Wesley.
a fair warning.
I did. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude, and I appreciate you being quiet while I kick you. but you're prophesizing and telling us what you did and what you believe, and not a referral to the show and what we're actually talking about. And feel free to come back on Saturday night. We're going to have a St. Patrick's Day party all day long. All right. Everybody will be drunk. Everybody will be partying. You also have to have wear green. You'll only be allowed on if you're wearing green. And you can come on and do this and we'll fight back and forth. But you're not referring and specifically going against what I asked you not to. So I'm going to give you one last chance. Would you like, and I know you were here for Revelations, talk about Richard's and his beliefs and what we're talking about?
Sure. My answer is simple as this. Hi, Richard. I really don't know you. I really don't have an answer for your question right now.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Dargendorp and Stephanie said the exact same thing with a wee bit more information and a wee bit more clarity. But that, yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Do you want to talk about yourself now? I can kick you in 2 minutes. Have you a question
before you
for
go
Richard?
ahead, Wesley, I'd like to thank you again for the interaction on JG's channel and the debate we had. Had a great time talking to you. Really appreciated it.
Well, sure. At the end of the 7 years of hell, I'm going to be standing.
Can
and
you
I'm going
hold
to be saying-
hold on? Would I make an attempt to keep it on track? Wesley, you just made a statement. You don't know anything about Richard's beliefs. Would you like to ask Richard a question on what he believes rather than talk about, because everybody knows what you believe?
Sure. Richard, could I get you to say, I saw the square pit and the depth of it is unknown, and the square pit...
Okay, I asked you to ask him a question, and you asked him, could he repeat basically what you said? That's not a question, Wesley. One last time. You made a step. Let's try and take the second step. Put it in the second gear. Ask him a question. Don't ask him to repeat.
Okay, sure. Richard, do you brush your teeth, those two healed teeth that Jesus put in your mouth?
Really?
Yeah, that's my question. Do you brush your teeth?
I do try to maintain my teeth. My family has terrible dental history, and mine have outlasted both of my parents.
Apparently.
What bad condition they're in.
Okay. Well, I hope you'll...
I've never seen a tooth healed in my head, but I have slowly watched them disintegrate.
Well, you know, there's questions, and then there's rails or railing ultimatums, which it seems that you're making more railing ultimatums than questions. So I won't say anything more.
Well, what in the world is a railing ultimatum, if I might make so bold?
Go, Stephanie.
That's for you,
It's
Mr.
your
Wesley.
birthday. No, go, Stephanie. It's your birthday. She asked a question. Go, Wesley.
No, that's all I'll say.
No, Stephanie. That's all you're saying. Thank you,
Oh,
Stephanie. Here you go. She asked a question.
Dude, you come in, you come in here and you want to ask questions or you want to make declarations or something.
No,
but
Stephanie.
What are you
let's-
unresponsive? Are you unresponsive to stimuli for some reason?
No. He may have not heard the question because when you were talking, I was dancing and stuff. Can you just reiterate the question for Wesley to answer?
Sure. A railing ultimatum is
No. Wait.
something...
Yeah, there you go. You did
No,
hear
he
the
heard
question. You did hear the question. Don't be a dick there.
Answer it.
You did hear the question. Right, Wesley, answer the question.
It's really something that you base on your imaginations rather than reality. Reality such as two healed teeth that Jesus gave to your mouth. You say that didn't happen. And saying that two healed teeth didn't happen in your mouth is a sign of lunacy. But instead you want to make railing ultimatums which are based on your imaginations that you didn't see Jesus, that he didn't tell you to tell the vision.
Are you telling me that Jesus is the greatest dentist ever, or what? I don't. What two healed teeth might you be talking about?
Yeah, it doesn't get any more real than that.
I'm confused.
No, it doesn't really. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hold on. If I can, we do have someone in the backstage and I usually don't have a lot of people for Richard, so I'm in a limited room. Would it be possible for everybody to just go to that link? If everybody goes to that link, I can hold a lot more people. It would be fantastic if everybody could just click that link. That would be great.
Let me see. Let me see if I can do it.
Wesley, Clout, Darg, Bruce, everybody. Click the link in the private chat. Once everybody leaves and goes there, I'll just dance. Okay, Bruce, if we go there, click it too, Bruce. We're just going to dance. I see one person in the backstage. We got Richard. We got Richard.
Did you
Clout.
put a link for the YouTube or?
No. This is for the people who are in the Hangout already. I want them to just move across so I can bring more people in. We've now got Darg. We've got Bruce. There you go. Wesley, private chat. Click the link.
What are you munching, Richard?
Everybody can hear you now. I'm just
Cheddar cheese, mild.
That is an excellent choice.
There we go. We got a Wesley. Clout. Clout's the last person. It's now actually enough people
Hello.
that I'm just going to.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi.
There we go.
There's Stephanie. Turned off the light. There's a dog somewhere.
That's Bruce.
I'm in my car because there's a power failure going on at the moment, and I'm
Oh, sheesh.
trying to stay. Yeah.
And
Good old
Just
me.
froze.
It's lovely. It's March. It's
I didn't mean Bruce was the dog. I mean Bruce owns a dog. To be
You let
clear.
me
Well,
down.
Sorry about that. I don't know what she's acting up about. Sorry.
too late. Bruce will forever be a dog for me, but a nice dog that talks.
I'll be a dog. Oh,
Nice
I am a
talking
dog,
dog.
in some ways.
Sure.
We were. I was mentioning our last interaction earlier, Bruce. It was
What's that?
interesting. There we go. Now we're starting to get all the people in. Thank you, and just if I can say a shout out to Sammy 420 Atheist, giving me access and allowing me to do this and bring in other people. So I do appreciate that. Everybody is welcome except that one person. So feel free to click the link.
Do you have Sammy's GoFundMe link? Should I fetch it?
Would you mind
Not at all.
if anybody can? There is some Sammy's. Yeah, there's. Go and look it up. Don't want to get focused on that and stuff and all. But Hillary's emails. I'm going to ask you the same question. Is there a shorter goddamn name I can call you?
Just Hillary.
Hillary. Okay. Hillary.
Huh?
Would you? How long have you been watching me and Richard?
Not very long.
Not
Richard,
very
quite a
long.
while.
Yeah, fuck me. Would somebody join the panel that's been watching me and Richard for at least 2 series so I can ask this question? Please. Please. Like, you seen us do Revelations at least a little bit, no?
A tiny bit, yeah.
For fuck's sake. Yeah. Now we're doing Jubilees. Have you seen any of the 3 episodes that we did Jubilees?
I woke up when you were 6 minutes into this broadcast.
Brilliant. So, moving on. Bruce, fucking save me. Can someone answer my question? How are you, Bruce?
Bruce is muted.
I was checking. Dog still carrying on. Doing okay. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're having fun tonight. Although the reason we're having, well, the question I asked when we started the after party was, what do people think of the progression of Richard's justification for his belief system over the time that we've been doing these series? And everybody that has joined has not watched any more than like 5 or 6 episodes, and we've done like 150 or something. It's like,
Yeah.
I've watched more than 5 or 6. I've watched most. I caught most of Revelations.
I'm being facetious,
and
but
a
you get
couple
my
of
point.
Jubilees. So I just, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Whatever.
just being an Irish facetious asshole, but you get my point. You know, it's like, Richard, you're muted.
Links in the private chat if you would, please.
Oh,
So tiny little spiel about this. Addie is very strong, not right now. Addie is likely to overcome this with the correct treatments if it's timely. Addie is happy, well-adjusted, beautiful child with only the future in front of her, and has received what is essentially a death sentence. And it's a preventable death sentence, or at least there's some likelihood. So if you would be so kind as to check it out, if you can't personally help financially, if you would pass it along to maybe people you know who could, should they be so inclined, it would be a humane thing to do.
it'd also be the nicest thing to do. If we can, if you are available. It's Oh, hold on. I just want to give a shout out to one of our biggest fans, in the live chat. Thank you to that person in the live chat who has announced that they have watched every single episode that we have done. I appreciate your viewership. Lots of love. Thank you. I made video and say you are what. I don't know anyone else apart from me or Richard that's watched every single episode. Maybe Sammy. So thank you for that, viewer. Appreciate it. Anybody got any other? Weasley, you're just proselytizing in the fucking private chat. Ask a question, Richard. Get to fucking know Richard's beliefs. If you don't know them, the show's Richard's after show. Come on, ask Richard.
The whole idea here is to tell me why I'm thinking about something poorly and why I should correct it.
Richard, another little practice which we fucking didn't do tonight. Can you give your spiel for the audience that don't know? We didn't do that at the start tonight. Can you do your spiel?
Sure. As soon as societies were organized enough that they had some hours to sit down, they were given a religion. It's because they already had social constructs, the religion matches their social construct, but tells about only 20 stories in different ways, sometimes legalistically, sometimes poetically, sometimes artistically with lots of color and flair, but the same approximate 20 stories all over the planet. Even those who think they don't have the same story actually do. And that baseline story is extremely ancient humans in a directed panspermia terraformed the planet to put their kids, i.e. us, on it for a limited time. Say something around 200,000 years total. In other words, alien overlords.
Alien overlords!
I wonder, do you see the idea that people have with Christianity, but that it's inclusive and yet at the same time exclusive?
That is interesting, isn't it? They say things like, our God is the God of everyone, but then they say our God didn't tell everyone the truth. It's up to us to do that for God, which doesn't seem to make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bible does seem to say, though, to share the gospel. I mean,
it does.
The good news. I mean, I definitely see that.
Mm-hmm. But I think if something were a God, part of its ability should include the ability to tell a message to a small little tiny rock like this planet. To everybody. It shouldn't be that hard.
Well, I know there's a lot of debate on that as to what an individual has to believe if they've not heard, that kind of thing. So,
sure.
I don't know.
Do you agree with those arguments that a person is better off ignorant or knowing all of it? Either, one of the two, but not something in between.
Um, well, I think when a person thinks they know all of it, at least when it comes to answers, I'm usually questionable of that. Honestly, I am. So I don't
Sure.
know. I mean, I've met plenty of people who think they know all of it or thereabouts,
Sure.
but tough call there. I know that what's the Bible say something to much is given, much is expected. Kind of scary.
It's,
So,
no, I think you're taking that properly. That should be scary. Absolutely. I mean, there's good argument to say something like you're better off completely ignorant, and upon judgment, your life judged, or upon end times, you adjusting your view if necessary. And that's probably like the best case scenario is total ignorance.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be better to know, but it's kind of like the idea. I understand that. In my view, is you're judged by your heart. God looks at your heart,
Mm-hmm.
and that He would know.
1 minute left on the
God.
vote. 1 minute left on the vote of the poll. 1 minute left.
Okay.
You were saying, Bruce? He was just talking about a poll in the side chat, please.
No,
Sorry
just
if
saying
I
that,
if I could cut in for a second. It's 3 a.m. for me. I gotta go.
Love, love, love. Thanks, Andy.
Richard, Robbie, Stephanie, Wesley, Bruce, Hillary. You all have a great night.
You too.
You too.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Stephanie, did you just share the YouTube link or the private link?
The private link.
I didn't share any link. No, I shared the link to the GoFundMe that
Oh,
Right.
cool.
Richard
Sorry,
asked.
I was just making sure it wasn't the private StreamYard.
No, I didn't share any streaming links.
Thank you. Just making sure.
No,
what
I
is the
just,
time? Are we on to the end of the poll? It's now 3 minutes past end poll. What did the poll come out at? Not really liking the results of the poll.
And you just pinned the StreamYard link.
I'm happy to pin the StreamYard link in
Just saying.
this, 14 people watching, not 26,000 people on Twitter. That's what I was just checking on with Stephanie.
Oh, okay.
No, I just shared the link to Addie's GoFundMe.
Oh yeah, that's
On
a
my
great
Twitter.
thing. Yeah, no, good thing. What
You
I'm
know,
feeling
It's
bad about.
2,600 people. I don't know who'll be in a position to do anything, but I was asked to.
Oh no.
I mean, I was trying to do something aside from fucking proselytize.
Oh no, you were fine. You were
It was
100%.
positive.
The problem
Yeah.
is I put the link out, and unfortunately my audience has voted. The options were: what do we do with Jill? 5 minutes in a panel, time him out, leave him in the live chat. And unfortunately, twice as many people as the other two votes want to give him 5 minutes.
Okay. The people have spoken.
So, Jill, you have 5 minutes to come in and answer and ask questions. Not 5 minutes to come in. Wesley gets the same rules. No proselytizing. All right. Also, insults, gone. And I'm going to just play a wee game. If you say liberal 3 times, just for shits and giggles, we're going to kick you before the 5 minutes. So, that's the rules that's coming in. You've got 5 minutes from the moment you join.
I'd like to say hello to Jill. Hello, Jill. I do apologize, so I'm going to take off. I was got stuck on that last area when we were talking. Anyhow, hey, have a good night, guys.
Bruce, thank you for coming in. If I get a chance. Bye. So, Hillary, you unmuted and then muted. Have you something you'd like to talk about? The link is also pinned for anyone else who would like to come in.
No, I was just gonna clear my throat. That's why I muted myself.
So, Richard, your thoughts as the Book of Jubilees is going through. Now, I'm going to ask you a modified version of a question that I asked everyone else. Is your bias going to be swinging its big dick after about chapter 3? Like, you know, you understand my flowery language, but...
You asking me to prophesy? You just said I couldn't do that.
No, everyone... What I'm saying is, I see in the future. By the way, again, Jill, you're getting 5 minutes of attention. If you want to come in, don't be scared. All right. Do you feel that as this progresses, you will see the hatred? Bad boy, Robbie. See your disagreement with the dichotomy that it creates. Do you see your bias getting stronger and stronger? Do you start to feel a little hatred for this? Are you feeling a distaste in your mouth when we say Jubilees?
You know, I want to be honest, and I know that I am biased, and I know I can't help it. Okay? And I could always find some way to justify my own biases. Right now, what I'm thinking about it is, compared to a larger picture of many more religions, it's starting to look like some man wrote it, and it wasn't written by angels. It's starting to not look like a work of God, but maybe the effort of someone to further confirm what they already thought about Old Testament, for instance.
I just want to point out that Jill made such a big scene about wanting to come on. Big scene, look at me. La, 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 la. We give him what he wants. We give him 5 minutes to come on. And he won't come on because he's scared of Richard. So, it's now 2:07. Jill has got to 2:10 to join. And then the retraction, it's going to be retracted. That was your opportunity. Got what you want. Just proving motherfucker just wants attention and just wants people to look at him. When he gets what he wants, doesn't know what to do with it. So,
see if I can help. Oh my gosh, Jill's coming in? You're kidding, right?
yeah, you
Oh,
get you back in here. Don't you fucking get back
But
in
I'm
here.
but I can't handle his questions.
Nobody can. He's too good.
Right. Well,
We're
anyway.
all here, Jill. We miss you.
Do it sexy.
How twisted are your panties anyway, Jill?
Okay, now do it angry.
Grr,
Come on, make love to the camera.
grr, 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 grr.
And the microphone, I suppose, but my microphone's in the... I'm in my fucking car. You know, it's cold.
Oh,
There's no lights,
we
there's
just
no
got a
electricity.
link.
What
We got a
the
beep.
fuck?
We got a beep. We got a beep. We got a beep. He's all ready?
Somebody's backstage.
Yeah, it's only Marty. Well, it's only Marty.
Oh, what?
I know. I said it, and then I fucking
Marty?
was like, "What? No."
I want to try and get Jill in the room. Hey, Jill, I'm a bisexual pagan female. I know you don't like any of that. Come on in.
I'm going to send you Jill's icon.
Oh yes. And
I'm going to
please
send you
bring-
Jill's icon,
Please
Marty.
bring a whole
right?
bunch of wood.
I send
Yeah.
you Jill's
need all the
icon,
wood
and you cut it
need all the wood
next
you can
time.
gather.
And I can be Jill. I don't want Jill's icon. He has me blocked. He hasn't been talking to me. Or maybe if he sees me in the thing and he hears my voice, he'll be like, "Oh, okay." Because apparently, if you're gonna hate on my friend, we should come in and back your shit up, Jill. So how about that? Also, bisexual pagan female. You don't think we like that?
Come on, how could you hate somebody more than Marty? Come on.
I know, right? I'm literally everything he stands against.
Okay. I'm only saying this because Marty came in and I don't want to cut Marty off. But Marty, it just turned 10 minutes past. I'm going to give it one more minute just for you to wind them up and try and get them in. So
Did we mention Marty's a witch?
Yes, and I practice witchcraft. That's right.
She's
Come
a
on,
fairy.
Jill. There's a mother goddess, and not just the father god. Nature is my church, Jill.
Do you remember I explained to you? Do you remember I explained to you, Marty, about how people over here, when you say furry, think 1980s gay men? That happened today. That actually
Did it
happened.
really?
Oh,
That
come
happened
on.
today. I was on a phone call with I actually recorded the phone call because it was a whole thing about the electric company, but I ended up getting an Irish call center, and me and the person, Cadiz or Candy, I don't know what the fuck her name, we had banter. Like she was like, "Oh, you're very chatty. It's clearly because you're a Leo." Then we talked about astrology, then this, then the channel and stuff, and I was like, "Oh no, I have a pagan friend that literally, describes themselves as a furry." And she burst into stitches laughing because she thought the 80s.
Oh.
So that's what I mean. And I was like, no, not that furry, a different furry, the one with wings. That got another laugh. But yeah, we were on the phone for like an hour.
Nice.
She stayed 15 minutes after work as well. We were talking, she lost track of time.
Nice.
Marty, correct my memory. Is fae the general term?
Yes.
That's good. Okay.
Thank you. That would be a better descriptor.
Thank you, Logan Fisher. I've only seen you a couple times, but I appreciate you. Come on, Jill. We need to start.
No. It's 12 minutes past. It's 12 minutes past.
Hold on. We need to start raising more masculine men who can handle someone attacking their beliefs. Then bring it, Jill. You're a masculine man, aren't you? Bring it on, Jill.
He's afraid of my icon.
Marty,
It's
you're
demonic,
breaking my
quote
rules.
unquote.
You're breaking my rules. Okay? You're breaking my rules.
Yeah, but
You're breaking my rules.
but not me, so I can
Rules
do-
are meant to be stretched. Come on.
I am officially stating now that nobody is allowed to respond to anything that Triggered His Lord says in the chat.
triggered his lord.
Nobody
But he
is
just
allowed
said
to time them out.
He just said something good. No, not him. Hillary just said, "We're hoping that you could handle a strong woman." At triggered his lord. Hillary
So-
ruled.
Marty, I know, thank fuck for somebody who is a friend of Richard's, a friend of mine, who has been watching the fucking channel for long enough. You heard me ask the question, and I swear to God, if I ask you this fucking question and you tell me you haven't watched enough, I'm kicking you. How do you feel Richard's justification in his beliefs and his understanding of the scripture that we have reading has changed over the years, over the series, as my understanding has got more in depth?
Now let me finish my whole answer before you freak out. Don't I see your head? I wasn't done. I too have not watched a whole lot of the series. However, knowing Richard for a good minute and having discussed, Richard and I have had multiple discussions. I think you've been able to articulate what you believe more now, lately. Maybe doing the series with MathPig and doing the series with Mac and stuff. I notice you're more able to get into more detail and more depth and articulate better, which is one of the reasons why A, I don't call you a Christian, because that's insulting to you, and B, I kind of like your stance because it's a little bit more of a naturalistic rather than just plain supernatural, because I don't do the supernatural because I don't have a way to prove supernatural. So I think that you've been able to articulate your beliefs more to a point where some people can say, oh, okay, I understand, he's bat crap crazy, but I understand what he's saying. So people like Jill might think you're insane, but they have more detail now to understand where you're coming from in order to say that.
And I have you all to thank.
I told you.
That's a good answer. It's a good answer.
Well, I feel
and I have you all
no.
to thank because a lot of you guys have.
Thank you for
critiqued me
answering
over
my
the last-
question, Marty. I'd like to respond, but Richard's talking. Go on ahead, Richard.
And I have all of you to thank for saying things like, "Look, you're not expressing that well, and here's how you're not expressing it well." Go ahead, Mr. Channel Owner. I'm just a guest here.
I love that it's channel owner, but right now Richard has mod status. So unfortunately, Richard, if he wanted to, could do that thing where he moves his hand and I vanish.
Oh wait, is that a thing?
Yeah,
No.
watch Richard. Watch Richard. Right, Richard will move his hand and I vanish.
But I don't see him moving his head. Wow, that's such a cool trick.
He can bring himself back in though.
Yeah,
So
motherfucker. Fucking
there
right,
he
I
is.
can bring myself
Now
in.
you're confusing me because you're on the other side. You're usually where Hillary's is, and Hillary's was where you are. So now I'm confused.
No, I appreciate your answer. I thank you very much for your honesty and going into that. And that is one thing that I do try to more so push in the last two series. I've noticed it's more important this last year and a half, this last 2 years, because everybody in the community has started to get know Richard a wee bit better, you know, and they're like, still, I've known you a year and a half, still don't know what you mean. So as I put it at the start of every episode of our show, Richard, give us your spiel. And I think the first time he did it, it took like 21 and a half minutes. And you've got it down now to a minimum of 2, properly 5. You know, and it's a lot less bullshitty semantic.
Yeah, it's a lot more succinct now. So people can actually, like if someone wants to challenge you now, they actually have information to challenge you on. Whereas before it was kind of vague and not a whole lot of people had information to challenge you on. They would just challenge you on the fact that you're quoting from the Bible, but you weren't quoting from the Bible, that you weren't reading it the way that they read it. So that was what they were trying to challenge you on, because you're a heretic and you're going to hell.
What Richard is Richard's taboo. All right? Richard's taboo. Because to understand Richard, you need to get to know Richard. You know, that's the stance that it used to be. You can understand me in watching me in a stream for 3 hours. You'll get me down, you know. Straight to the point, don't like it, tell you, fuck off, give you a chance, fucked up, bye. I'm simple, I'm plain, I speak my mind, you know. With Richard, getting to know Richard's beliefs, because it's so different from Christianity, and Richard at the start used, like, you know, do you want to come to heaven? And people are like, yeah. And then you talk for 20 minutes, and nobody fucking knows that you're talking about a fucking spaceship. You know, you say to someone, did you pray last night? And they'll be like, yeah, I pray every night before I get to bed. We usually pray at church and stuff. And then you have a discussion on prayer. Goes on for a fucking hour. And it's like, does nobody know that fucking Richard thinks prayer is a Vulcan mind meld? You know, it's just like, there's a lot more clarity now.
Yeah. Like, I feel you challenged him, MathPig, in order to be able to be as succinct as he is now. Because whenever he asks for challengers, nobody challenges him on the beliefs, because it took a minute. You know, I think maybe it took a minute for you to understand yourself and your beliefs more, Richard, in order to be able to articulate that to other people.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mike.
And Marty, I love the New Jersey Southern accent. Hail. That was awesome.
Hail.
No.
Going to hail.
Richard, all I can say is give it a minute, you'll hear something more often.
What? What are you talking about?
Just give it a minute, all right? You'll understand.
Hey, Mark Reed likes my New Jersey accent, so I don't care if you don't like it, MathPig.
I wasn't making fun of your accent, but you're missing the whole thing that you say all the time. Just give me a minute. It's in a minute. It's...
Oh, that's all right. That's a
There you go.
thing.
She caught on. There you go. She eventually caught on. We have.
I explain that to you. So anybody that lives in the South, who's ever been to the South, knows that a minute is an indefinite period of time. When's dinner gonna be ready? Be ready in a minute. 2 hours later, there's dinner. Hey, Richard, I haven't seen you in a minute. Meanwhile, a minute's like 20 years. So there's no, like, a minute is rarely ever 60 seconds.
Well, can I make a statement and you can tell me if I'm right?
But
Can you?
Yeah.
I'm going to make a
that's
statement.
all
You tell
very
me if
well
I'm
and
right.
good, but
It
what
took
about
you a
hot
minute to catch on that I was making fun of you.
See? And it wasn't a full minute. It might have been, what, 5 seconds maybe? See?
It was fucking a half hour, Marty. I don't know where
It
you
was
were.
a hot minute. That's what it was.
It's a hot minute.
Sorry, Stephanie.
Like a hot minute. It took me a hot minute to get it. Hi, Mac. In the side chat. Hi. Oh, cool. He bought you a beer, MathPig.
Okay, so from the Southern perspective, a New York minute is about 10 seconds.
Probably, yeah. Well, to everyone's perspective, a New York minute's about 10 seconds. Because when they say New York, it literally never sleeps. And I miss New York City.
Ah.
I miss
So
him.
Marty, thank you for your answer. I
welcome.
appreciate it. You're the only person that has been in and knows Richard as long as everyone else is shit. What about Clockwork Rex? Clockwork Rex, have you been watching us for a while? Have you got an opinion on Richard's justification and how his, I was going to say how his beliefs have changed, but how his language and justification has changed over the years? You've been around, you've seen us, yeah?
Yeah, I've watched most. I haven't watched any of the Jubilee stuff yet, but I've watched most of the Revelation stuff.
Mhm.
And I have to agree a lot with Marty. Richard's answers have become more streamlined and succinct. Succinct. Fuck, I can't even say the word.
Succinct.
Succinct. There you go. There you go. And over time. And yeah, both y'all's beliefs have evolved, in my opinion. So
You hear that?
y'all
He said,
come.
"I'm getting to you."
Yeah, no, that's
Well,
why I fucking folded my arms and leant back. All right, just because I created demolish doctrine does not mean that I am believing in Richard's beliefs and created another one. Although
Oh,
I
I'm not
would
saying.
agree.
I mean, y'all can come to an
I know I'm going to give it a
understanding.
caveat. Let me finish. It's like a backhanded
Okay.
comment. Although I would agree that I don't want to say my openness, because my stance on Richard's belief then in a sentence and my stance in Richard's belief now is the same and hasn't changed. In a description to Red, shout out to Red, hey, she's probably sleeping. One of the reasons I do this with Richard, the two top reasons, flat out, two top reasons I do this with Richard is to keep myself on my toes with my clarification and understanding, because my social interactions can be problematic online with the way that I speak. I can do whatever I want to Richard, say whatever I want to Richard, and Richard will not take any offense by it. He will then explain to me afterwards in a conversation when I'm like, dude, I was fucking ignorant, I'm sorry. Oh no, it's fine, blah blah. And that helps me keep me on my toes. Plus, it's fucking fun. I love the guy. You know, I like hanging out with Richard, and Richard is an asshole to the point where you can't play games with him, you can't watch a movie with him, you can't do a goddamn thing with Richard except talk fucking religion and make fun of other people and things and jokes and have a band. You know, it must be on the topic of this. You get 5 minutes to have a joke, make a sex thing or whatever on Sammy's, and then you're back on topic again. You know, it's... Yeah. You will not get in, and I will officially kick you from the studio because you had your... No, he had his hot minute. He had his hot minute. He's not banned. He can come back in again so I can kick him again and make myself feel another wee bit better. But it's 13 minutes past the timing that we pointed out. We don't do this on your scale, Jill. It's my challenge.
He's challenging you, MathPig. He's challenging you.
No. You see that? He's trying again. You did get kicked. And this is the last time I'm going to address it, and then we're going to go back to me and Richard talking. You did get kicked because you got 10 minutes to come in. Then I extended it for another 2 minutes because Marty tried to invoke you. You had 12 minutes of a 10-minute thing. You don't run this. We don't do it when you want to. You were given your opportunity. You missed out. You want to come in and feel like you're the alpha because you decided when you can come in. No. You had your time. Bye-bye.
I got 20 push-ups that says he totally did that on purpose.
100%.
He punches when it comes to Richard. Just came home. Nice chatting with you.
There is a story of Julia Roberts, and I can't remember the movie, with Steven Spielberg. And I will quote this as a reference to here for an analogy. Julia Roberts turned up 45 minutes late for the filming of the movie. She walked in, and the first thing she said is, I am now ready to be filmed. And Steven Spielberg turned to her and said, we're ready when I say we're ready, Julia. And that's the way it is. So,
yeah.
Clockwork, back to yourself and your opinion of, and yeah, go fuck yourself.
MathPig's spicy tonight.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I've known Richard for a while, and yeah, he's a cool guy. He's always been good to me, and I've tried to always be good to him. But like I said, y'all have kind of come to an understanding. Y'all don't agree. I'm not saying you agree on everything, but you've come to the understanding that you can have these conversations and not get all pissed off about
I would disagree with that, but I get what you're trying to say. We do in the moment. You're not fair to the. Oh my goodness, that one will be permanent.
it.
Right.
Clockwork, I don't tell him
Hold on,
this, but he actually pisses me
sorry.
off like
I'm
every
muting
5
the.
minutes.
I'm making the live chat disappear.
Well,
If I
okay,
can just
fair.
make a statement to
That's
all
fair.
my mods, if any socks appear, permanently hide the socks. Okay, just permanently hide the socks. Only person he's not allowed to be hidden on. Only timeout is the original account. You're not. You had your time. Mods, get your deck out, get your boobies out, have your free reign. Time the motherfucker out all the time, he says, and permanently hide every single sock account. That is the rules for the rest of the stream. That is the last that we will address it. Clockwork. Sorry.
Okay, let me restate what I just said. Y'all might get pissed off at each other when y'all are talking, but you don't hold a grudge against each other. There,
Thank
that
you for
might be a better
clarifying.
way to put it.
Yeah.
There, that's a better way.
Generally, if we don't have an after party, Richard fucks off for as we smoke, and then I leave this open, watch on YouTube. Richard will maybe go make a sandwich, or I don't know, nuke something in the microwave that's crazy. He does that sometimes. And then come back and have a munch and we chat. We hang out. We banter
True, I can't
afterwards.
cook.
So if I tell him he's a fucking prick and I lose the rag and throw something at the camera, afterwards I will generally apologize. And I don't want to say justify what I did, but give reasons behind why I reacted the way I did. And we have an understanding. So as I say, that's the first reason. Keeps me on my toes, lets me know what's wrong, and yeah.
We've misunderstood each other so many times. It would be impossible at this point to count.
It's easy to
Well,
count.
Yeah, that's what I like about you two. Like I said, you don't hold a grudge, because when you hold a grudge against somebody, it hurts you more than it hurts them.
Richard is the same person as myself in the understanding that when you come to an argument, you come to a disagreement, we both have the opinion that we would look at the situation and we would decide what is best to make this go away. And I know, Richard, if we had an argument where it's like, somebody has to jump onto a knife, somebody has to do this and we have a fight or whatever. No, I know that Richard would jump upon a sword and sacrifice himself for me or him if it came to that situation. And I know
got a
that I
baby.
would do the same for Richard.
You better not. You got a baby.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Right?
there is that.
But you get the point I'm trying to make is I know that, and
Yeah,
I don't
I
want to
do.
take it to an extreme, but it's at that point, it's like Richard will, I know that Richard would do anything to end a situation, end a fight, end a row. He's a good person. He's like, why the fuck would I fight over the fact that I said under and you said below? It's not worth it. We could go on forever, but it's not worth it. What am I missing? Fucking motherfuckers laughing. What am I missing?
Jill in the private chat.
Stop saying that!
He is. He's in the private chat.
He's not. He's gone. He popped
No.
in. He literally popped in for 30 seconds, said that and left. Fuck's sake. Stop giving him attention. Time him out. Go
Oh,
on.
he sent you a message, Richard. Oh, that's the thing he sent.
Right. Now, he made a statement that he wants me to address because that statement is incorrect. He wants me to say it online. Richard and yourself brought it up. You were feeding the fire. I don't know. I'm lost. I don't understand why people keep pouring gasoline on the fire and then wondering why
Because
their
it's
hands
chill
are
and
warm.
it's fun. We're laughing at him, not with him.
No,
That's that's why it's fun. Because he thinks that we're laughing with him, but we're not. We're laughing at him. And it's
yes,
fun to
and
laugh at you.
okay, and still. So what about that game last night? What about go Yankees?
Yeah. Give it a minute. April, I think. No, May. I
Question
think.
from the chat that I seen before I minimized the chat. We've got a hot minute. We've got a New York minute. What's a cosmic minute?
Yeah,
So-
I know.
Ooh.
I said, I know, it's a good question. Maybe it's the whatever. What's the speed of light?
186,000 miles per second.
Then
Three,
that's a
roughly.
cosmic minute.
Sorry,
Right?
Marty, I interrupted you and I didn't hear what you said. Would you mind repeating?
I said, then that's a cosmic minute. Clockwork Rex said what the speed of light is. I said, then that's a cosmic minute.
Technically, right? Technically,
Yeah.
A photon or anything else traveling at the speed of light does not experience time.
Yeah, but we do.
Yes, but a cosmic minute puts
Maybe a
a
cosmic
now, if I can be a semantic asshole. Hi, Richard. A minute is a definitive amount of time. The fact, by definition, they don't experience time. You cannot put a time limit on something that doesn't experience time.
Well, my cat doesn't experience time. Nothing really experiences time except for us because we're aware of time, whereas my cat,
Sorry,
Merlin's not.
Richard. Sorry, Richard. Let Richard speak. You semantic.
I've got a
bastard.
possible answer to the question.
See?
Life of a galaxy. How's that?
What about the life of a galaxy?
Cosmic minute. Life of a galaxy.
Oh, to the original question. Right, Richard. Are you talking spiral? Are you talking flat? Are you talking dark matter? Which
On average.
Are we going to take the average of what we refer to as a standard candlelight? One of them universes?
Is there a standard candle for
There is a
for
standard candle.
for
Yes,
a
it's
galaxy?
There is a
Well,
standard
to judge
candle.
a
I
distance,
do believe
yes, there is.
I do believe that
Okay.
the reference that they use in cosmology is a standard candle, and they use that as a distance. You know, it's a particular type of supernova that happens.
It's a type 1A. Yeah.
That happens on average, I think, 10 times a year or more, because the universe
Okay.
is so big. You know, even though it's a 1 in a million chance, there's 20 billion stars. It happens quite regular, and because we know the composition of this, we can I'll use that word. We can justify our inference from the distance because of how far the light has been stretched. And if anybody
Right on.
knows about how we tell what's in the sun 40 fucking million light years away, it's because of the light that we get from it, and we can then infer from what it's made of. And if we know that this standard star, this type of star, is generally made of these things, we can then use that as a general distance depending on how far the light has been stretched. I do believe it's called a standard candle.
Yeah, it's
So
a type 1A supernova, and they explode with the same brightness, no matter how far away they are.
Yep.
So that's how we can use it as a distance measure.
So the original candle was an actual candle used for judging artificial lighting on the Earth, and now that we're
See, he's a semantical bastard. And again, I'm not going to add yourself in. You can fucking add yourself back in again. Yeah.
I'm sitting here, I'm talking to my ex-husband, and I hear Richard talking, and then I don't hear Richard talking anymore. I was like, what the hell is that?
I kicked him again just for shits and giggles. Okay.
I'm crying in my closet.
No, secretly what I was hoping to do was add you back in just as you click the button to add yourself back in. So then
So
you
it
can
goes
kick
back
yourself.
out.
Didn't
See, but I
work out,
saw
though.
that coming, so I waited for it.
No, I seen your fucking hand move. I used Marty's
Yeah.
logic. I watched your hand move. You leaned forward, you know.
I have to. The desk is too far away. So you guys are talking about standard candle on astronomical
candle.
terms. It's the first time I've heard of it. What's that? Did I say camel standard or something? What did I say?
You nearly said standard cattle, and then you corrected yourself halfway through cattle.
Camdel. Okay. So you're saying a
wanna
type
kick
1A.
You're freaking me
Trying to
out.
learn something here.
You're freaking me
It's
out.
a Type 1A supernova. Yes.
Supernova is the new standard
It's a-
candle
it-
on
it's-
astronomical terms. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Cool.
a
Thanks.
like if you had a Type 1A supernova in the Andromeda galaxy, it would give us a better judgment of how far away it actually is.
Mm.
Because they all explode with essentially the same brightness. But I knew what you were getting at. Like if you have one candle power, that's one lumen. And that's how we judge like flashlight brightness and headlight brightness and how many lumens it has.
Right.
But I got what you were saying about that. But yeah, it's an astronomy thing.
Okay. I just learned something new. Just wanted to review it and paraphrase it to make sure I understood.
Can I kick you again?
Just try to keep my answers real short.
Go.
There are other standard candles, but the Type 1A is so bright that it comes into play. There are other stars that display similar behavior. It escapes me at the moment which they were. Before the 1A supernova, there was another one, but I can't remember what it was. Because it's late and it's cold and I'm in my car and it's fucking snowing. It's terrible.
Oh my god, why are you in your car?
Because there's heat there.
Oh.
Because the electricity is out and the
Oh, okay.
Have you thought about getting a natural gas powered generator?
Stephanie,
I've
do you have
thought about
gas to
flying
your
Mars
house?
too, but no, I'm not.
It's so loud as all
No.
crap.
You can put them inside an enclosure, then they get pretty quiet.
Wait,
It's all right.
Hillary's, did you
It
mean...
doesn't happen frequently. I'm good.
Okay.
Because in the United States we say gas and it means like actually different things. Did you mean like LP or liquid propane or natural
Yeah,
gas generator?
Well, I did say natural gas.
Okay, I didn't catch the natural word.
It runs off of cow farts. I'm just saying. That's what it does.
Yeah,
Oh, I ran off of dinosaurs.
Yeah, can't get enough of that.
I don't have a cow
No, if I was to build a
either,
house,
and-
if I was to build a house, I would make at least one toilet in the house, one of them natural composite sort of ones.
Mm-hmm.
At least, because I plan to have a mini mansion. I've been
He's legit planning this for his house. He's legit been planning this.
I have been working hard all my goddamn life. I would rather be poor than owe people money, but I'm poor in my own house. Anyway, I intend to build a house that will have solar panels. Where I'm planning to build the house is a very high high popularity of wind generators. It is one of the best areas in Northern Ireland for wind generation. Solar panels, wind generation, composite toilet. I'm looking at an area that has at least a little dribble of a river or a spring on it, And the only thing I need after that is some beehives to make me booze and some nice tobacco plants. And I'll not have to, yeah, composite toilet, methane gas. It runs the cooker, like gas hob electric oven. All right, I'm just
The word
saying.
you're looking for is composting.
Compost.
Is that not what I was saying?
No.
Saying composite. I waited for you to say it 3 times.
Fuck sake. You see? Thank you, Richard, for keeping me right.
See, I heard you say it, but I didn't want to correct you because I didn't want you to be like, for fuck's sake, it's my channel, blah.
He kicked you for not correcting him.
I know. I didn't want you doing that bullshit. That's why I didn't correct you.
The thing,
How
you
do
see,
you
this
win
is the
this?
thing. Certain people will get attention regardless. You might as well go the love route, Love you. See? You still get the
Power
attention.
hungry. You're spicy tonight. You're extra.
Stop slagging me off, right? I don't know why you're fucking laughing up in the top corner, bearded.
Right? spicy today.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, see? And Richard
gotta
probably knows
eat.
better than anybody on the panel.
It's killing the viewership. Everybody's leaving. We're half our viewership at the start. People don't like
What's
me
that have to do
spicy.
with me?
Yeah, no, you're right. It is all to do with you. It's your fault.
No, it doesn't. What are you talking about? I said, what does that have to do with me? Not that.
Oh, nothing, Marty. Sure,
I
none
know.
of us think there's something going on there.
I mean, you think more people would show up to see a bisexual witch on your show?
We're more fundamentalists, you know. I think
That's
we
why I was
got.
trying to get Jill in here.
No. I think we were doing well tonight. We got two
You
Christians
take
on
them
panel.
around.
We got two Christians on panel. We got a. I did not kick Stephanie.
Yes,
I
I
think
think
we-
it
She's on her phone, and she might have had to drop.
I think
right?
we did well tonight. We have got Richard, who is one of a kind. All right. We have had a pagan. We have had a Christian. We have had my personal self as an agnostic. I can't speak for Hillary's. I'm still figuring out Hillary's beliefs. Clockwork Rex, I would consider an atheist. We've had lots of different varieties of people in the chat, and I think at least one new person tonight. So, you know, I think we've done well for the audience. That, oh God, he's got his fucking hand up. Go on ahead, guy.
Change the title of the stream. Go ahead and edit it now to Gay Witch and MathPig.
Bisexual.
And see what. Oh, sorry, bisexual witch and MathPig, and
See how many
guests.
views you get.
See
Yeah,
what happens.
See how many views you get.
I see
Hot
what you're doing. No. I see what you're doing.
Pretty hot.
No.
bisexual
Okay.
Math
I
Pig.
will. Okay. I will change the title, and I will change the title to achieve what you're asking, with slightly different words.
Fine, Math Pig. I see how it is.
Yeah, I'm in charge. You keep. Do you know? There's my fucking hand. Where's my hand? Oh, for fuck's sake! Right, we've got 20 minutes left, and then I've got I don't. It's quite funny. I've got a wee lad that comes in every Wednesday for work experience, and it's like, yeah, go do this. Yeah, go do that. Brilliant. I get to relax on a Wednesday. It couldn't be better timing. But other than that, I do have to go to bed, at least end the stream, I mean. So we're
What
going to
type
work
of
around
business
the
do you
room.
have?
And yeah, Hillary's emails. You spoke. You're first in line after me. What have you got going? What's happening? Technically, you don't exist, but
I was just asking what kind of business you have.
business I have. I don't have
Uh-huh.
a business. I work for a bespoke. I build farm machinery, man. But we build very good farm machinery, and the position I'm in at the minute is I'm running the floor sort of factory for where it is in the place I work, but they've started a new factory, and it's like the owner of the entire fucking company's little baby, and no matter what can be said, like Richard, it's a lot of stress at the minute trying to organize and figure out what another factory is doing when they won't give you any information. Like I have
Okay.
literal physical pictures. It's got to the point where I am taking pictures of the stuff that I'm sending, and they tell me they don't get it. And when I send them an email and say, here's a picture of me sending it to you, the owner comes back and goes, don't fucking care, just fucking sort it. And I'm having to do my job twice. But I'm ranting. At the minute, I run the store, I run the kits. It's a bespoke. I make slurry tankers, pipes, and go on.
And to answer Hillary's other question, 5 hours ahead of Eastern Standard.
No, I know what part of, which
Okay.
time zone.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. No. Hold on. I know. I'll mute myself to the stream.
Okay. Okay.
So there you go. Nobody's allowed to talk now about what I did because I muted
Even
myself.
if the bum won't buy a drill.
I do bumming by a drill? What?
I said, even if that bum won't buy a new drill until the old one explodes.
The new drill has been paid for. The new drill is sitting in England, and the manager of our factory won't pay the fucking cost of the carriage because it's too expensive. It's literally been paid for. It's sitting in England this last 2 weeks, and he won't pay the carriage because he's searching everywhere. I think like it would be cheaper for him to buy a lorry, drive over and drive it back, and I think that's like he's a tight motherfucker. Tight motherfucker.
I don't like how they keep cows in that like cage with their head sticking out looking thing. I don't like that.
It depends. Like that's just for milking. Anyway, moving on. Richard, you're next in line. What have you got happening in the next wee while?
Well, I'm driving a friend to the airport tomorrow, so I'm not having the regular Wednesday show with Mac and Zebra, much to my own chagrin. I really love those guys.
Mac's just
and
arrived.
They
back.
come up with some really interesting things to talk about. And the premise of that show is I don't know what they're going to say. I just have to answer to whatever they bring up.
So, is that any different from what we do, except we have a script? Have something to read?
Yeah, except we have a script. That's the difference here. Yeah.
Well, in saying that, we had fucking 40 minutes of a show where we didn't even refer to that.
We were talking about the show and about the script.
No. All right, okay. Mac just arrived back. Mac, the link's there. If you're home and you can join, come in. We'll be ending the stream, but we might hang around for a wee while. It's always good to have a bit of banter and talk to you. Anything else, Richard?
Nope, just going to miss Mac tomorrow and Zebra and try to catch up again next week.
You should
or maybe if they want to alter the time.
Yeah, you should still go live. People will join. If all else fails, just go into Sammy's. No. It'll be live. Kick him and take over.
I'm the one that has to run somebody to an airport. I can't be here that hour.
You have a mobile phone now.
Oh, no, I'm not even trying that. I'm so technically retarded. Seriously, I just, no. You'd have to, like, spend the next several hours teaching me how to do that.
It's really simple. I send you a link and
yeah,
you hit go.
That's what you always say. And then I need 3 hours of explanation.
So, Clockwork Rex, what have you got?
I'm not doing much of anything except trying to stay warm. It's been snowing since Sunday here, so, you know.
Oh, I miss snow.
And the wind's been blowing like a constant 30 miles an hour. Yeah, that's...
I feel you, man.
Oh, man, it's been cold.
I had a wee story before we went live with Richard where I found a jigsaw at work that runs in 110 volt, and I've rewired the plug to plug straight into the 240 volt thing at work. And I have been cutting up pallets that have been, bits of wood and stuff. Yeah, you need to keep yourself warm, but I'll tell you, that fucking jigsaw, fucking brilliant jigsaw.
Running
Marty,
at twice speed, I'll bet.
I'm fucking telling you, man, it went that fast earlier today. Do you know the guard on the bottom? Do you know the flat piece of steel? Right?
Yeah,
the jigsaw bit goes like this, and you've got the flat piece of steel. Vibrated that much, that fucking thing flew off. I lost the screw. I had to go get a new screw and shit. Yeah, so much wood, right? Boxes. They're throwing this in the bin. It's like this long. They're throwing it.
You still haven't told me what kind of wood that is, though. I mean, if it's junk pine, who cares? But if that's a hardwood,
it generally the stuff that comes in carrying this really heavy weighted stuff is hardwood. There's a guy at work and he takes it home and he has a wee shed out the back and he goes and he takes all the wood from work that's like that. Like there's bits that come in and they split, so I take them for the fire. There's bits that come in of a giant, a nut. What do you call it? A nut, isn't it? Isn't it a nut?
A knot.
A knot. Yeah. You have a knot in it, and you can like pop it out. So if he went to sand, that knot would pop out, whatever. So I take it home for firewood, but we generally would split it. And I will send you, Richard, some of the things. He built an entire TV unit for the house with just wood left over from work that they were throwing out.
Could you hold it up by one end, just pinch it like this and tap it with your lighter, and I'll know by the sound how hard the wood is. Let's see if he actually does this.
He's about to.
Hold it by one end so it's hanging. So you want it to resonate, and tap it. Good rap with the lighter. That's pretty high pitch. That's a pretty hard wood. Yeah, that's not pine for sure.
Yeah, and then you get like there's shit wood at work, like this stuff, right? This stuff is two of these, and there's the tanks that come in them. It's a round tank, and that's what these come in.
Okay,
and then you
yeah.
get a difference in this. Like this burns like fuck.
Yeah, that's soft. Yeah.
Yeah, this is totally soft wood. This is what I use to light the fire. Like even the weight of that, it's. Then you get these. These are like, they don't go as high with the same effort. You see that? It's.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then you get these things, which are the ends of the pallets. The squares and the pallets, and that's sawdust crushed into a square.
Yeah.
And because it's so hard crusted, they just give out heat. They don't burn at all. They just smolder, so to speak. So there's lots of different varieties of work. So I understand what Clockwork Rex is saying about keeping warm. Everybody's leaving. Saturday, we will probably have a St. Patrick's stream. I will be dropping the daughter off early enough in the day. I know it'll be a day late, but still, I'd rather have longer and more fun and stuff like that. So St. Patrick's Day hangout happening on Saturday. You can't come on unless you're wearing a little bit of green. Even if you get a wee bit of green and just put it in your cheek or something. Right? No, don't count.
Permanent green.
If I start to cry, my eyes turn green. Does that count?
And you're kicked too. So green, you must be wearing a little bit of green, okay?
I have a green shirt.
Yeah, little bit of green. You fucking give me shit up in the top corner here. Right. On that note, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for hanging out. And don't forget to think for yourselves and give Jill a hug.